Madison County Board of Commissioners called to order. Regular meeting of Madison County Board of Commissioners being held at the Madison County Health Department, 804 North Parkway. Commissioner Wall.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Today we have one of our own, Dr. Ron Kirkland. Commissioner Kirkland will be leading us in the education pledge. If all will stand with us, we'll begin that pledge.
Please pray with me. Dear Heavenly Father, this is an important day in the life of our county. And I pray that you will give us your words to speak today and that we will follow your will in the deliberations we have on behalf of the citizens of Madison County. I pray this in Jesus Christ's name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dr. Kirkland, at this time I'll entertain public comments on anything other than the judgeship. We're going to do all that together. Roll call. Jeff. We've got 25 present. I know. Something's wrong with this clicker. We got 25 present. 25 present. Any public comments other than the judgeship? There's no announcements from the chair. Mr. Mayor, do you have anything?
I do very quickly. We have Pam Carter is retiring at the end of May. Since Pam has been here for 42 years. Pam here? I did not see her. Okay, well, if you see her, please thank her. I don't know how I thank someone for 42 years of service to our county, but I just want to say publicly thank you to her. And of course, Judge Harvey is retiring after 36 years with the county, and we just want to say thank you for their service. I think it says a lot that we have every single month we have employees retiring that have been here for multiple decades. It says a lot about their commitment. It says a lot about hopefully how we treat folks when they're here, and that their service heart and service mind to deliver for our county residents. And so I just want to say thank you for that. I'm not going to read it, but I do want to say, in light of the stress that maybe this morning's meeting may bring for some people, this month is Men's Health Month, and so I have a proclamation to proclaim this Men's Health Month. So guys, let the blood pressure come down. I want the same number of people that walked in to walk out today. All right? Love y'all. Have a good meeting.
Thank you. We're going to move things around. At this point, we're going to move the appointment of vacancy for General Sessions Court Judge. We're going to have public comments from people that have previously signed up. I'm willing to recognize anyone here that wishes to speak. We are going to try to limit the comments to around 3 minutes per our rules, and I want everybody to come up here so they can hear and be on TV. After that, we will have some nominations, some discussions, and then we'll also hear from the candidates themselves, okay?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to suspend the rules to allow these people to speak a little bit more time to make their point.
Have a motion to suspend the rules.
Second.
Have a second. Dr. Kirkland.
Second.
I have a first and second to suspend the rules on time limit.
Is this for public comment, or is this for the candidates themselves?
This is for the, is it for the public comment?
Public comment.
Public comment.
Are we in discussion right now, Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
If we are, then if we're suspending, we need to put a backstop on it at some point. So I'd like to amend the motion to 5.
You good with that?
I'll second that amendment.
Then vote. Okay. We're going to vote to suspend the rules first, and then we can vote on the back limit of 5 minutes. All those in favor of suspending the rules say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
No.
No.
Roll call. Vote is open. Let's see, Commissioner Ellison. There we go. The vote is closed. 11 yes, 13 no. Rules are not suspended. Public comments. I think Judge Morgan. Come on up, sir.
Sometimes it takes more than 3 minutes to tell what you need to tell on some major issues. I'm going to be, I got open my notes up, I just got written notes. Most of you know who I am, and I've served as a judge for 35 years now, 32 years elected as your judge, so as my mama would tell me, first thing you need to do is thank them, and I do that, and I thank you for giving me the time to speak for a moment. This is a situation where we're dealing with the judicial position, and ethically a judge can speak out now under the rules, and ethically a judge could even endorse. I'm not here to endorse anybody, but I want you to listen to me. Try not to cut me off. I want to talk about the selection process. That's what's so critical here. You in this room, some of my old school teachers and doctors, you and friends and family friends, you've never done this before. You've never, ever been put in a position as a commission, even though you've been here a long time, you've not filled a judicial slot. So I think part of the problem and why I'm getting calls is because the process has not been followed properly. This is serious, and you've got to take it serious, and you have a tough job. It takes away from your homes and your work, and you come here to do this, and I'm thankful for every one of you. My family participated in that type of thing, but the process is important. I know about General Sessions. I was there 8 years. I don't have time to get into that. I really wish you could understand what goes on over there. Ain't got time. I'm going to move to the process itself. On the state level, and I'm going to try to explain this to you. On the state level, the governor has a council for judicial appointments. Why does the governor have that in cooperation with the legislature? Because he wants to form a council that is independent of the legislative body. So no one can put undue pressure, threats of repercussions, or opposition later. It's an independent council, and one of the sharpest lawyers is a strong Republican, Lane Wiseman out of Memphis, is chairman of it. You have one local attorney here in Jackson on that committee. It's a mixture of lawyers, attorney generals, DA out of the 21st District. It's about 10 or so people. And they take the applicants, okay, and they vet them, they interview them, they bring them into a public hearing, they let people speak up, they investigate with the Bar Association. How do the lawyers feel? What's the opinion of the colleagues in the legal profession of these individuals? They talk to DAs, they talk to public defenders, anybody that's going to be involved in the legal profession. The third branch of government, they don't... It's just important you realize why that's done. They send 3 of the best names after all that being done to the governor. The governor then selects one. But you know, before he does that, he does another investigation. Why? Good judicial people. Reputation, work ethic, education, experience. All the judges here have seen these candidates in the courtroom, at least 4 of them. They're my friends. They're my friends. I've seen them. I could rank them 1 through 4 now, in my opinion. Judges can speak out. Not here for that purpose. If you want my opinion, I'll give it to you. All you got to do is ask. And so with the other judges. So with the lawyers. And so you got to ask the question, have you done any of this homework? Have you reached out to these entities that I mentioned? Have you done what the state level would do? Steve Maroney went through this process. He's one from here. He went through the process. He stood on his own merits. He was elected or appointed by the governor because of his credentials, because of how much respect he had in the bar, how he performed before the courtroom, in the courtroom before. Justice Roger Page, who just retired, he went through it twice. Okay? Served with me in circuit court, appointed Court of Criminal Appeals, went to the Supreme Court, my neighbor in the building down there where I am now. Because I'm appointed by the Supreme Court. I'm one of 6 in the state. Senior judge. That's for old folks. Okay. Now, get this on Roger Page, one of the most respected colleagues I've ever had and really honored by the people he worked with. They overwhelmed him. He is quoted as saying when he was going, I think, onto the Supreme Court level or retiring one. I got this quote. He was a trial judge. He says, when I was a trial judge, I wasn't going to let the threat of losing my seat get in the way of doing the right thing. Did you get it? Did you get it now? It's judicial independence. You know what? Roger Page was appointed by Bredesen and then appointed by Haslam. You know why? It's bipartisan. It's not a matter of let me flex my muscles. It's a matter of doing what's right. And he didn't even know I'm talking about him today. But humility too. Judicial traits. You got to humble. Understand the people you're dealing with. Integrity. You got to look at certain things. Listen carefully. Listen, not talk all the time. Listen.
Judge, we need to be wrapping it up.
Fair and impartial. The truth hurts sometimes, but you've got a job to do. If you do something wrong, if you made an ill-informed or uninformed or uneducated decision, you stand up like a judge would and say, I made a mistake. That's the strongest person in the world. You stand up and say, I made a mistake, I'm going to correct it. Let's do what we're supposed to do. Let's do it like it's done on the next level. Speak up, be brave. Don't be intimidated. I've got so much more to say without attacking a single candidate. But do your job for me. School teacher that got me, he taught me summer school, American history. I might not even graduate without him. And there's so many more. Arthur Sr. makes me smile. I lived next door to Arthur Jr.'s daddy when I came back.
Thank you.
While we got the opportunity to hear from a man who knows, why don't we give him a few more minutes? I mean, because this is a choice. It's going to be a serious choice.
Make a motion to extend the time.
I'm making a motion.
Second. All those in favor of extending the time for Judge Morgan? Say aye. Aye. All opposed?
Ladies and gentlemen, you're not commissioners. Again, I feel for you. It's a tough job. I'm not begging for time. I came here not because anybody asked me. The candidate didn't ask me. No candidates asked me to be here. Again, judges can give opinions. I'm not here for that. I got out of bed and put on a tie to come here. Didn't have to do it. One other thing. We talk about knowing, I went to school with him. He gave me my first job. I knew his daddy. I'm glad they knew my mom and daddy when I ran. But those are the things. Ed Bryant, federal level. He was selected because he was qualified. Those judges had all the faith in the world in him. He was vetted. He was respected. And you ought to know that. Judge Todd the same way went to federal level, circuit judge at one time. There's so much I could say. You've been given a tremendous responsibility. Can you tell I'm passionate about the third branch of government? It's in my heart. I believe in good government. I believe in conservative government, but I believe in a good judiciary, and it's in your hands. How can you have a unique opportunity? At some point, the voters have already spoken on some. How can you ignore the will of the voters that have spoken on some matters in the past when it came up for election? Okay? They've spoken. And you're elected by those same voters, just like I am. Do a vetting process. Take a deep breath. Stand up if you made the wrong, uninformed decision. You know how it works now. Respect the process. It's the third branch of government. You're the legislative. It's done this way for a reason. Come up with a remedy. I'm going to quit preaching. Because I know some of you for so long, I know I can offend you with what I say, but I don't apologize because I'm here to speak the truth. I speak from my heart. This means a lot. I wish others would come forward, and I've tried to keep it neutral. I thank you again for allowing me to serve. I've really been blessed with a career. But the people elected me 4 times in 32 years. It wasn't a private group flexing muscles trying to influence anybody. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Jerome Till.
Good morning. It's good to be back with you. been some time since I've been with this board. Some of you I know very well. You've been here a long time. Some of you I haven't got the pleasure of meeting yet. When I was a county attorney, it's been a long time ago at this point. You didn't pay quite as well back then as you're paying now. So I am here. Nobody's drafted me. Nobody's appointed me to come speak. I am here to strongly support Tom Corley as candidate for the General Sessions judgeship. So I've known Tom a long time. I've known Tom for probably 40 years. When I first came to Jackson in 1985, Tom's family took me in as a young student who was attending church here in town. So I've known Tom a long time. I can speak to his character. His skill set fits with the General Sessions Court. And Judge Morgan said a lot of what I would have said. I was prepared to say. I know that some days ago you had a caucus meeting at which time a candidate was selected. Since that time, I suspect there's been, most if not all of you have been contacted by members of the bar who have been expressed opposition to the candidate that you selected or expressed support for a different candidate. And I appreciate and respect the process of the caucus. I do. If you think that is the most important part of this process, then I would implore you to postpone today's meeting, postpone today's vote to another time, and so that you can implement some of the things that Judge Morgan has mentioned today about a process of vetting candidates, appointing a committee to vet candidates for you. You've not completely fully heard from the bar. The voices of the members of the bar should be given great weight in this process. And I'm talking about members from the public sector as well as the private sector of the bar. You should hear from them. You should solicit. You should seek out their opinions as to who they think the right candidate is for this important position. Now, if you're intent on voting today, then again, I implore you to vote for Tom Corley. Again, I think Tom possesses the skill set, the disposition, and the character to serve in this important position. So again, thank you so much for giving me the time to speak this morning. I don't want to use up any more of your time, but thank you so much.
Thank you, Jerome. Mr. Teal. Who would like to speak next? Mark, come on up.
Thank you. I don't know most of you, and I know most of you probably don't know me. And so I simply introduce myself, Mark Pendergrass. I am a ordained minister, having served 36 years, 20 in church staff ministry, and in my present position as a chaplain for the last 16 years for a hospice. I simply want to say thank you. Obviously, this meeting has been called simply because you have done your due diligence. Thank you for what you have done as commissioners. I especially want to say thank you to my two, Tony Niehoff and Mr. Ryan Kirkland, for allowing me to touch base with them and speak today. And simply say to you, thank you for what you're doing for the residents of Madison County, which I am one of. I'm also a personal pastor to Mr. Mark Patey, a candidate that I endorsed today. Not only have I served in various capacities, but I had the privilege of being his personal pastor in the funeral of both his brother, Pat, and his father, Buddy, who I saw several of you at Mr. Buddy Patey's service. 1981. 44 years ago, I walked on the campus of Union University as a college tennis player, and my captain that year was Mr. Mark Patey, and we struck up a friendship that stands to this very day. In that processing of friendship, I wholeheartedly support him as a candidate as appointed for this judgeship. Not only do I support him, but I think the fact that not just hands down do I believe he's the top candidate, but I also know that 15 hands went up to endorse him as a candidate. I also support him with all the joy, enthusiasm, peace, and love that I know that's going to be represented in the Madison County residents. You've seen his credentials. You've seen several things in the resume, but I also want to point out a couple of those things to celebrate. Especially want to emphasize an attorney in good standing. I would dare say he would not be had voted on if he was not an attorney in good standing. But when I think about that in good standing, about 37 years, no ethical complaints, not a single complaint in all those 37 years. It's a beautiful reputation. Stunning to me in this day and time when so much goes on in this world. But especially his pro bono work. I've had the privilege just to see and know that simply in biblical terms, the least of these, those that can't have the privilege to represent themselves through lack of money specifically, and to know that he, and I simply quote, I feel a sense of professional and moral responsibility to do everything right in not only representing my paying clients, but also in providing the highest level of free and ethical representation and advice in considerable measure to my pro bono clients every single year for 37 consecutive years of private law practice.
Mr. Pendergrass, we need to wrap it up.
Okay. Now that's a judge that gives evidence of being fair and impartial. But here's the skinny. This is a good man. It's a good Christian man. A good father, a good husband, a good friend, a good lawyer. And I hope very soon he's going to be a good judge. I conclude with this simply. As a sports fan, I simply say to you, as a fan of Mark Patey, let's go. Thank you.
Is there anyone else that would like to speak? Well, we're going to have some discussion between the commissioners later. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Greer. I live in District 2. Thank you to my commissioners, Olivia, Tony, and Adrian, for serving our district so well, and to all of you commissioners for being here today. Thank you, Chairman Taylor, for allowing me to speak. I come before you, lots of thoughts. I'm sure you all do as well. I'm sure you have not talked about an issue, this hot button issue, as any other probably issue before other than the budget, I'm sure. But from some things I've heard this morning, there's now, to me, and pardon if I'm offensive, an uproar now over the process. I know personally because I listen, I observe, I stay informed. This process has really been going on for 3 to 4 months. The announcement was made. The candidates applied. Notices were presented for those to come and speak. The candidates have spoken individually, collectively to this body. No offense to our bar, but if there was such a concern about the process, why didn't someone come to this commission and say, hey, we might need to relook at this. There might be a different way of going about this. So I just say that, and that was just kind of, just from what I've heard, not that I don't appreciate what the bar does and the lawyers and the judges, but we also have citizens in our community who are affected by this decision. Because the citizens are the ones who are arrested, brought before the judge, prosecuted, or defended. What are their rights? You know, who are they gonna face? It should be someone who is fair-minded, someone who is encouraging, someone who is of faith. And that person, I believe, I support, is Mark Patey. Mark and I have been next door work neighbors for 6 years now, downtown, across from the county courthouse. We kind of share the alley. where our parking places are, so we see our comings and goings. This man works hard. He is there early, he is there late. I am as well. We're self-employed, small business owners. You know, we commiserate about what it takes to keep your livelihood, to support your family. We have had great conversations, long and short, about life, about what's going on in our community, what goes on in our nation. He is very open-minded, kind and genuine, and so enthusiastic. You know, even on a bad day, it's like, hey Jen, how's it going? I'm like, you know what, it's great. I needed to see that smile today. His record speaks for himself. His resume obviously makes the qualifications, or he wouldn't be here today as a candidate for this appointment. So I just encourage you all to take a deep breath, to do what's right, and just to take my words to heart. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Mary Jo Middlebrooks. I did not come intending to speak, but I came to support Judge Morgan's position in this matter. And it is true that this has been announced for a long time. And the reason the bar is concerned is that it's very important who is representing the judiciary in our county. And I want you to think about the fact that in 2 elections, that Mark Patey was at the bottom. From the elected, the people who went to to decide who was going to be the judge did not pick him. And we're entitled to be able to vote in this country. And I want you to consider that putting political pressure on people in order to get a position is not the way we should do things. And I know it's been done forever in the past. We all know that. But I want you to really look and see. I don't have a dog in this fight. It's not that I don't care who gets elected, but I think it needs to be an election. And I think you need to consider how to handle this matter correctly. And I know it's asking a lot of you, but that's why we elected you. And let me ask you, if you were running, would you want the caucus to pick somebody so that they would be in a position to be the incumbent when they ran against you? Because that's what we're talking about for a long time. This is very serious. Not that your positions aren't serious, but there's a lot of you. And on that bench, there's only one judge. And it's very serious.
Is there anyone else that would like to speak? Anyone? All right, we will close public comments now. And what we're going to do is we're going to seat, I'm sorry, would you like to speak?
Let me say good morning. Good morning. I come here today just to ask you all, just do what's right. I know what's talking about right now, you shouldn't be appointing anybody. I don't think we would be here today if we don't think we should appoint anybody. We wouldn't even got this far. I'm not here to talk against anybody, but I'm here to speak for Mark Patey. And I think it's been brought up several times about he's lost 2 elections. It's not about losing 2 elections. It's about continue to fight and continue doing what's right. I have a song that I live by, regardless of your past, the future has a clean slate. So no matter about the 2 elections, it's about what we're going to do here today to support the right person to serve for the 10 months. After then, like you said, they got to run for election, then the people would have a choice. But right now, it's not fair for us to go through this process, and then the day we decide today we don't want to go through this process. That should have been left out, or y'all should have stop their process a long time ago if that's the way you really felt about this. Or you should have spoke up. Like I said, I'm not here to speak against anybody, because I think all the 4 candidates can do a great job until someone is elected. But I think it's an opportunity for us as people to come together and do what's right about all people, and not, I voted for people. I voted for the D, I voted for the R, because I'm looking at the candidate as a person. And I'm just asking y'all today to just do what's right for people. And if it's Mark, let's work with Mark. If it's Chief, work with him. But I think all the other guys are kind of good, great candidates. So just do what's right, and let's not, because I think we're playing games with the people that elected us as elected officials when we get here today, and then we want to throw a curveball in and say we're not going to vote today. So I'm just asking y'all to just do what's right. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Are we sure? All right. Now what we're going to do now is we're going to take nominations, and then once we have nominations, then we'll start discussion amongst the commissioners, okay? Accepting nominations. Commissioner Black.
Yes, I rise to make a nomination for Tom Corley.
Okay.
Excuse me.
I'm sorry, Commissioner Gotts.
I would like to make a nomination for Mark Payton.
Yes.
Who'd she say?
Mark Payton.
Thank you.
Any more nominations?
I'd like to nominate, can I nominate 2 people? Is that allowed?
I've never heard that question before.
Shoot for the moon, right? I'd like to nominate Jen Free and Bill Milam.
I'm going to leave it up to the attorney.
Let's look at the rules. Nothing in our rules that would prohibit it.
All right. Jen Free and Bill Milam. Commissioner Godwin.
I would like to make a motion to close the nomination to see it names.
Have a motion to close.
Second.
Have a second. All those in favor of closing the nomination, say aye. Aye. All opposed? All right, discussion starts. Commissioner Godwin.
Okay. I'm kind of offended and I'm offended for this reason. I run many elections, did not win, but I was always the best candidate. And the reason I didn't win, because I'm outspoken, I say what I say, and you can't fight me. I'm not saying what I want to say, because I have a God above. And, to want to hold this election on, it's not right. That signals a signal to the people that we don't know what we're doing, that we can't make a decision. So no, I think right now we should make a decision, because we've had 3 or 4 months to make this decision. And we should not allow other people to come in, regardless if they sit on court. My sister's attorney, and she's a good attorney. But still, we need to move on. We have 4 good candidates. We couldn't have not done better. If there was any other candidates that wanted to put their name in the hat, they would have. So what are we gonna do, wait till we get the votes? Oh, that's not right. For whoever we want, let's vote. Thank you.
Commissioner Abbott.
Yeah, I'd just like to say that, there are several parts of this process that were concerning. I do think that, you said that people would think we don't know what we're doing. The fact is, we don't know what we're doing. This is the first time that we've made at this level of an appointment to the 3rd branch of government. We've not done that since we've been elected, so this is a new process. He also mentioned that this is a bipartisan decision, and that at the state level, it's a bipartisan committee that makes this decision. Guess how many people were at the agenda review, which is the only chance that we have to discuss openly the kind of bipartisan dialogue on this appointment. There were 3 of us there. And I'm not saying that to shame anybody, because I know it's not well attended, but we have not had the bipartisan discussions that we need to have to be able to make this decision. And if the discussions are happening under the table, then that's a problem as well. So I have concerns with the way this process has gone myself.
Yes, I respect all opinions and advisement that's been expressed, and I move that we proceed with the vote.
Second.
Have a first and second to proceed with the vote. All those,
I wanted to say something.
I want to speak too.
I'd like to speak.
well, they've shut the vote down. We got to vote it up or down. So roll call. A yes vote means that we're ceasing discussion. A no means we're keeping it open.
Who seconded it?
Ms. Godwin. Dr. Kirkland, Mike Bryant, and Commissioner Claudel Brown. All right, any questions about what we're voting for? Votes closed. Discussion stays open. Commissioner Deaton.
Yeah, I think there's been a lot of conversation today. In the process we've gone through, I totally agree with Olivia. She's made some good points. Thank you very much. And I noticed that all the nominations, this is a political body. There's no doubt about that. We got 16 Republicans. We've got 9 Democrats or independents, whatever you want to call them. And we've also, you noticed, all of the candidates was nominated by Democrats. So this is a political body. But in this particular case, I think Judge Morgan made some strong points. Have we gone through the process the right way? This is new to us. I've been on this body a long, long time. And we've never had to make this kind of decision before in such a short period of time. Now, I respect the Republican caucus because I've been a part of it for a long, long time. That caucus is made up for, I think, for the main purpose of putting out the most valuable information that we can. So when we come to this meeting, we have the knowledge and understanding of what we're doing. In this particular case, the time was short. We may have done a little bit, but we didn't do enough. We didn't follow the process, maybe not knowing exactly all the things we should do. I'm not blaming the caucus because Mike Bryan he's a great chairman. He keeps us on the line. I'm disappointed in the way it came down, primarily because we as the Republicans didn't get enough information out about what we were doing. And there's not a candidate up there, probably it's not someone that everybody likes, appreciates, but I appreciate the statements that Judge Morgan made because we have not done our due diligence as Republicans. The Democrats may have, I don't know. But at the end of the day, this is a nonpartisan race. It affects the total community. So our vote is very valuable. So who we vote for has some implications this long term. It's just an appointment. I don't like appointments like this. I wish they all had to be elected, then we wouldn't have this responsibility. But we got this responsibility, so I hope we'll do the things that are correct.
Commissioner Bryant.
Okay, I want to speak in behalf of the Republican caucus. I've been there since 2018, and it was stressed to our caucus that we work through it and then we get to a place where we're united in our vote. Our process was done correctly. We did it as we have always done it. And we were encouraged to come together as a caucus. And I do want to we took this very seriously. There's probably not a commissioner in here that didn't do their homework that I know of in our Republican caucus. I'm a little offended that they don't think we took this seriously because we did. We talked to most of all the candidates. We had their resume. We gave them an opportunity to speak. We had everything we needed in order to elect a temporary judge. And you'll have to remember that this is an election in May. So if you don't like what we did, then you have that freedom to turn around and vote for somebody else. But we made a decision, and we took it very seriously. So thank you.
Commissioner Hall has to go first.
I just want to say that I too appreciate everything that has been shared today. And I'm learning a whole lot, just being 3 years on this, being in the commission for 3 years. But when I look at the information that is presented to us, I do believe we are wise enough to make this decision. And when I look at the information that was presented to us, and I like every candidate that came forward, but just in my heart, I feel like that Mark Patey is qualified. He's got the experience based on what I've read, the information we've received. And so I just want to publicly make that clear. We did go through this process. I think we did it right. And I believe that we need to vote this today and get it done. And I appreciate the opportunity to serve this community and look forward to making the right decision.
Thank you, Commissioner Hall. Commissioner Abernathy.
Yeah, I just want to acknowledge, I think we took this seriously, but none of us are lawyers. None of us are judges. None of us have the experience. And the people that are in those positions that do have that experience are telling us something different. They're telling us that we did not follow enough of a process, one that we should have established on the front end. Not that we didn't take it seriously, but there were not enough steps in place for us to know what we didn't know. And so now we know what we don't know. So I would like to make a motion that we table this vote, and that in the meantime, we have a survey conducted from the Bar Association where we can get feedback from the practicing lawyers in this community without their risk of speaking up.
I have a motion to table. Do I have a second?
Second.
I second the motion.
Objection, consideration.
I have a first and a second. I'm sorry, when she makes the motion, we have to vote on it, correct?
That's correct. If there's a motion for it made to table and it's seconded, there's no debate, you vote.
We got to vote up or down, I'm sorry. All right, a yes, roll call, but a yes vote means we're tabling. A no vote means that we continue on. Does anybody want to change their votes? All votes are in, votes closed. We continue on. Commissioner Godwin's up first.
I'd like to make a motion to vote on the judgeship. Close discussion.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second. If we want to close discussion, roll call. You're going to vote yes. If you don't want to close discussion, vote no.
Point of order. Does this motion require majority or 2/3, since it cuts off discussion?
Majority.
I would differ with you according to Robert's Rules of Order.
Let me check Robert's rules. Should be 2/3. I think actually.
Closed discussion requires 2/3 majority. 2/3 vote, excuse me.
Let's go ahead and continue our voting. Yes to close, no to keep it open.
That's correct, 2/3.
Could you restate for me, please, what the,
Yes to close the vote, no to keep it open. Commissioner John, there we go. All votes are in. Close the vote. Commissioner Brown. 15 to 10.
It's not 2/3.
So we stay in discussion. Commissioner Brown.
Yes, sir. When we hire contractors, as a responsible commissioner, I consult with people who in that field, or per people who they have worked for. We, as a responsible commissioners, have to do our job at being informed, enlightened, so that we can enlighten others. I respect, again, sincerely, the advice, the admonishments, the opinions of everybody. But we are not looking responsible to spend this much time, over this time, and say that I'm coming to the wedding undressed. We have a responsibility to spend on our agenda, and it's been discussed all this time. If we're not informed, how can we inform our constituency? Let's do our job. Let's go and vote on this.
Commissioner Black.
Mr. Chairman, of course, there's a caucus besides the Republican caucus, chair of the Democratic caucus, and there are instances where there are issues that I believe where a caucus vote really does disjustice to the purpose, people that are voting. When you vote for a person that's there and they're all qualified, what are you telling the people then? Because we know the Republicans have the majority, and that's okay. As you can see, 2 of our caucus members are voting not for the candidate that I'm supporting, and so sometimes it's up to the people to vote their conscience. And I think that in a case like this, the reason I'm supporting Chief Corley is I know he's a very competent individual. He's done a wonderful job as our chief, but he's an individual that I just have confidence in. I do my due diligence. All these candidates were very, very good candidates. I mean, it really was tough, but that's just what I wanted to say. Sometimes you put yourself in a box as a caucus when you make that type of determination. So sometimes it's not good to do that. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Godwin.
You know, I asked God, I did, for me to do what's right. And I asked God, if I'm choosing someone that's not right, let me know. Please let me know. You know, I think the problem with this whole process is instead of looking at, and I understand about ethics, but we're going all the way back to 1950 or 60 or 70 or 80, and we're looking too much personal. If we're going to criticize people and dig in their personal business, we need to criticize half the people on the bench. There's no perfect person. And so, with that being said, I just think it's ridiculous. We need to vote instead of continue to talk. Either we're going to vote for the person or we're not. Either we're going to close it out. But it just doesn't make any sense. I've been getting phone calls. And a lot of people support my candidate. But at the same time, I get phone calls, trying to come up with personal stuff. It just don't make no sense. And look like some people got hidden agendas. Can we vote, please?
Commissioner Martin.
Yes, Chair. We have 5 people on the board, of course, only 4 got nominated. Out of those 4, I only received phone calls from 2 of them. And personally, that's kind of ruined me the wrong way. That the other 2 feel like, well, you know, I don't really need your vote, because I didn't even hear from them until last Tuesday night. The other thing is that when we do vote, we all need to vote what we really feel. It's not about the party. It's not about the caucus. If you feel that Mr. Patey is the candidate, then you need to vote for him. If you feel Chief Corley is the candidate, you need to vote for him. But you don't vote for him just because this is what my party said. Or this is what the caucus said. And Jill Martin said, that would be the worst thing that we could do today. If you really deep down feel like one of these candidates is not the right one, then you need to stand up and be a man or a woman, and you need to vote the way that you feel.
Mr. Chairman, over the years, we've appointed many members in all areas. We've appointed school board members, constables, fellow commissioners. In fact, a few of this commission body was appointed. We've also appointed a sheriff. We had a meeting, I believe about a week ago. Every Republican member raised their hand in unanimous support for Mark Patey. I move that we close this process and move ahead with electing our next judge.
I second. Second.
All those in favor of closing the process, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Process is closed. Now we're going to hear from the candidates. Who all is here? I know Mr. Corley's here, Mr. Patey's here. Is Mr. Milam here?
Yes, sir.
Is Ms. Free here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's go in reverse order. We'll go, Mr. Patey, would you like to come up and address we'll give you 3 minutes.
Thank you for this process, and I believe it has been fair. It has been comprehensive, and I appreciate the courtesy of all the commissioners that I've either talked to on the phone, met in person, and spoken to at both conferences. It's been an honor to be a part of this process, and it continues to be. I hope that my maturity in that regard shows the good measure that I have to fundamental fairness in the process. Good morning. Formally, I'm Mark Patey. I'm very honored and grateful to be here, seeking to earn your vote as the next Madison County General Sessions Judge. I've been an attorney here in Madison County for over 35 years. Actually, I'm in my 37th year. And I've been a lifelong resident. I'm here also with my sweet wife, Carolyn, and other family and supporters, and I want to introduce them, and I want to thank them also for going through this process and prayerfully and with dignity and being here to support me today. I'm proud to have been educated in our school system. I saw Dr. King, shook his hand. I've enjoyed having him as our superintendent. Was really impressed with his remarks at our Exchange Club a couple weeks ago, and I'm proud to have been a product of the school system. I graduated from JCM. I attended Union University on an athletic scholarship. Couldn't have afforded, actually, Union had I not got that scholarship. My family was middle class, double income, and that's just the truth. I had a bunch of scholarship offers and half scholarship offers, but they offered me a full scholarship, and I'll never forget that. In fact, it was Judge Allen's father-in-law that came and signed me. He liked tennis. He wasn't the athletic director, and he found me and he signed me and he gave me a scholarship, full scholarship, and I'll never forget President Agee for that. I'm also a graduate of University of Memphis Law School, where my daughter also graduated. I'm proud of her. I've got 4 children from age 15. Yes, I'm still raising a 15-year-old with my wife, Carolyn. She goes to Trinity. I have them from 15, 18, 29, and my daughter, Madison, who's 34. They are all beautifully different, and I love them very much. So I just want to say that as a kind of a backdrop and an undergirding of you getting to know me even better. And next, and importantly, I would humbly say to each of you, and I mean this in all candor and seriousness, thank you each for serving as county commissioners. I admire your service. I admire that you care and you give so much to the community. I want to do the same thing.
Also, at the outset of my remarks, I must acknowledge that my relationship with my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ is the most important thing to me. And particularly over the last 15 years, it's just been an incredible journey, my relationship with the Lord, and no matter what happens today, I know I can rest in that, and I don't say that with sanctimony or politically. I'm going to give Him the glory in every setting that I'm.
You need to wrap it up, Mr. Payne.
I wouldn't be here without him. As to my qualifications, I have 4 pillars of my success that I've built my career on. Service, like you, have a sincere and focused commitment to service. I have experience at the highest level for 37 years in thousands of cases in every court. I have a strong work ethic, and because of my experience, I have a sound understanding of the administration of justice and how to make decisive decisions in a courtroom setting.
Mr. Petty, we need to wrap it up.
Thank you. With that, you just know that I'm going to give it my all. I'm going to be a 24/7 judge, 7 days a week. Anything that law enforcement needs to, as far as warrants or bonds, I'm going to be available so that we don't have an overcrowding during the weekends on our jails. But I would like to earn your vote today and earn your vote every time that I'm on the bench. Thank you very much.
Mr. Milam. Mr. Milam, come on up, please.
Morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
I appreciate the opportunity to speak here today. I appreciate the nomination allowing me to do so. And over the last couple of months, I've tried to introduce myself and let you know who I am and who I represent. And so I'm not going to recap all the personal information, but I do want to say that since becoming a lawyer and practicing with my grandfather, Harold Johnson, I've practiced a type of law that has taken me into General Sessions courtrooms multiple days out of the week, every week, for over a decade. I've been in Madison County General Sessions along with every other General Sessions that this county touches, and I've seen great judges do the job. And I know that I can follow their example and emulate them and carry out my duties as the Madison County General Sessions judge. Not only have I seen great judges do the job and practice in all facets of what this judgeship would entail, I have the experience. I have been appointed magistrate judge for Madison County Juvenile Court since August of 2022. Part of my duties have been to run my own courtroom, handle my own docket, make fair and impartial decisions, and make tough decisions on a daily basis. I think that that's what sets me apart from the other candidates. There simply is no substitute for the years of experience that I have. And I feel like I can go in day one and take over this judgeship and make the right decisions and the right calls. Last I spoke to the Republican caucus, I ended with a quote from one of our founding fathers. And I think that it's so important, I'm going to do it again here in front of everybody. Patrick Henry famously said, "Give me liberty or give me death," but he also spoke on experience. And Mr. Henry said, "I have but one lamp by which my feet are guided, and that is the lamp of experience." And I told the Republican caucus, my lamp burns bright. I'm not going to wander in the dark trying to learn how to do this job while on the job to the detriment of the citizens of Madison County. I'm not going to stumble around when I take this job because my experience will not allow me to do so. And so I'll leave you with that, ladies and gentlemen. I would ask for your support. I feel like I'm ready and willing, and thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Mr. Milam. Mr. Free.
I want to first thank you all. This has been a wonderful opportunity to get to know you and for you to get to know me. for me to understand what you believe your constituents need in this position. As someone who has spent the last 16 years in General Sessions courtrooms across West Tennessee, I agree with you that the top priorities for our next judge should be fairness and the actual practice of law. Day one on the bench will require our next judge to know the bond conditions that must be considered to allow individuals the opportunity to make a reasonable bond. Later that morning, our judge will need to know the applicable law to handle civil cases, such as landlord-tenant law and contract law. The second day, our judge will hear a civil trial in the morning, possibly, and later in that afternoon, conduct preliminary hearings in criminal cases to determine whether there is probable cause to believe a defendant has committed a crime, and if the case should proceed to circuit court. The third day on the job, our judge will hear traffic cases as well as order protection cases. On this day, our General Sessions judge has the opportunity to take a parent away from their child, away from loved ones. Later, on the fourth day, it'll be similar to the second day. The last day will most likely be a day of setting bonds and civil trials. While that may sound like a lot, that's normally what I do in court. I am in court just about every single day. Federal court, circuit court, General Sessions courts, across West Tennessee. I'm not afraid of long days and spending hours researching case law and statutes. That is what excites me about the thought of sitting on the bench. I get to weigh the evidence and do what I believe is in the best interest of justice. I pride myself in overthinking. I will argue my side of the case, and then I'll argue the other side of the case. And I do that because it's important. It's important to think about both sides. As a judge, you must be fair. You must be impartial. You must do what the law requires you to do. I enjoy being in the courtroom. I've had the opportunity to be before many judges that I respect, I admire, and I hope to emulate someday. I would like to make a courtroom a place where people leave their fear and pride at the door. When they leave my courtroom, I hope they know that justice leaves with them. My 16 years of practice, my rough 24 years of working in the legal profession has set me up for success as a judge. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Corley.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I'd like to first express my appreciation to the County Commission for even being considered for General Sessions Judge. This is very humbling. I'd also like to acknowledge my other colleagues who are also being considered today. This has been a very eventful, very stressful process for us all, and I wish each one of them the best. A few months ago, when I first heard that Judge Harvey was retiring, after some soul searching and some prayer, I made the decision to seek this appointment for one simple reason. I believe that I possess a unique set of qualities specifically suited for someone appointed to the bench of General Sessions Court. I'm a lifelong resident of Madison County. In 1986, I graduated from Jackson-Madison High School and enlisted and served in the United States Marine Corps. I then joined the Jackson Police Department, and I've served this community as a police officer for 35 years. My entire adult and professional life has been about the service of others, our country, and our community. I firmly believe that the judge of General Sessions Court should be a servant first and foremost. My wife Jamie and I have been married on 35 years this August, and we have 2 adult children and 2 beautiful grandchildren. I'm a proud member of the Marine Corps League Veteran Service Organization and the Jackson Rotary Club. Prior to becoming Chief of Police in January of 2022, I served as the legal advisor for the Jackson Police Department for over 12 years. Basically, I was the department's in-house attorney. Every day, my role was to represent the department in contract matters and negotiations, civil litigation defense, city ordinance development, training of officers in constitutional and criminal laws, and making probable cause determinations for affidavits for criminal warrants and also search warrants. At times, this work required me to appear in court, and I'll acknowledge that my other colleagues have more time practicing inside the courtroom than I do. Even so, the vacancy to be filled today is not for an attorney on one side or the other. It's not for an advocate for a plaintiff. It's not for an advocate for a criminal defendant. The vacancy to be filled today is that of a judge, a decision maker, a leader, a person of integrity, objectivity, and servanthood. From a leadership and decision-making perspective, I firmly stand behind my record and my reputation. Those of you who know me and my commitment to this community already know what the decision should be. And I understand that politics surround this question that's before you, and I know that for some of you this will be difficult. Again, I'm just very humbled to be among those from which you must decide. Thank you.
I think we've got some great applicants there, and I think we've already closed discussion. Judge, have you got anything you need? Doc, you got anything?
I would like to make a comment if it's in order.
It's not, but we'll allow it.
I'm personal friends with the Patey family, personal friends with Mrs. Patey and her father in Memphis, who's a good personal friend. I'm friends with Tom Corley. I recently met the other two candidates, and they're all very wonderful people. But speaking to the process, as Judge Roy Morgan suggested, part of the process occurred after the Republican caucus. I received a number of calls, all of which were viscerally opposed to the outcome of the caucus. I understand, I can't speak for other commissioners, that some other commissioners have received more comments than I have. All of those being similar to the ones that I got. I have had some positive comments, but the initial ones were quite negative. We have no way to introduce that information into this process at this time. That's a flaw in the process. I was unhappy that at the time of the Republican caucus, the commissioners were not allowed time to speak. That was just a flaw in the process. I wish I'd had time to speak. At that time, I was spoken in favor of Tom Corley. If we move to vote today, I will vote, as I promised to vote at the caucus, for Mark Patey. However, I think the process needs to be extended, as mentioned by Judge Roy Morgan. I think we need to accept what he says as what we ought to do, and I would move once again to table this nomination, this appointment, until the next meeting.
Roll call. Roll call. Don't do this process.
We've got to vote. We've already closed the process, and we've got to vote. Mr. Aday.
This has been a tough deal. I've lost quite a bit of sleep over it, and I took it seriously. And some in this caucus didn't, because they made the statement. They voted. They didn't know who to vote for, so they voted for who they were told to vote for. And that's ridiculous that you hadn't done your history or your search on the candidates. Now, I know all of them. I've been in court with them. I've seen Mr. Milam when he first started. I mean, I've been there through it all. And I raised my hand at the caucus. The last one there to vote on was Patey. I raised my hand to vote on it, and I'm a man of my word. But I'm also, first and foremost, I gave the people of my district my word that I would uphold what they wanted. And I've had phone calls all weekend. And so I'm torn on who to vote for there. But it's a political thing that's going on, and it shouldn't be. Again, you can say we handled it, we didn't really handle it. I mean, you've got the Democrat Party voting on two. They're split on who to vote for. The Republicans are split. And another thing, I don't like being threatened. And I've been threatened that if I don't vote with the caucus, they're gonna run somebody against me. And they put out, you're a rhino if you don't. Well, I gave the people of my district my word that I'd fight for them. They voted me in. So I'll vote how I feel. And you can kick the door open and run whoever you want to against me.
Thank you, Mr. Aday.
Yes, sir. Next, Mr. Chairman, I call for question.
Question's been called. We're gonna vote. We have 4 nominations. Mr. Milam, Mr. Patey, Mr. Corley, and Ms. Freed. And you'll vote for your candidate, and then the candidate with the lowest amount of votes will drop off, and then we'll vote again, vote again, vote again. Everybody understand? Roll call, Fred.
Abernathy.
Free. Free.
Thank you. Aday.
Corley.
Alexander. Arnold.
Patey.
Black.
Corley.
Bond.
Patey.
Brown.
Pavey,
Patey, sir.
Pavey,
Bryant. Cindy.
Patey.
Bryant. Mike. Deaton.
Thomas Corley.
Ellison.
Corley.
Godwin.
Patey.
Hall.
Patey.
Hicks.
Pavey,
Johnson.
Patey.
Jones.
Corley.
Kirkland.
Patey.
Martin.
Corley.
Mercer.
Corley.
Montague.
Milam.
Neoff.
Patey.
Taylor.
Patey.
Tippit.
Patey.
Wall.
Patey.
Watson.
Patey.
Seven, 116. Patey got 16. Bond got 1. Free got 1. Corley got 7.
Patey with 16, Milam with 1, Free with 1, Corley with 7, so we'll drop down to 2.
He got a majority, that's it.
Patey's been appointed General Sessions Judge. Okay, reports from county officials, standing and special committees, any old business, actions there by the board. That's you? Huh? You ain't got anything? Any other committee?
Got the mayor back there.
Mayor?
I'll report real quick on the Juvenile Justice Center Planning Committee. We met 2 weeks ago to vote on a couple pieces of property behind the CJC. We're going to go ahead and get full appraisals on those. Those two, actually it's not 2 parcels, it's probably about, 8 parcels total. Yeah, there's several parcels, 2 landowners that we're going to pursue. We're going to pursue a full appraisal on. Those will be most likely heading through the eminent domain process, so we're going to need those in this process as well. So using those, Attorney Bush is going to take that back to the landowners and see if we can reach an agreement using those appraisals. Once I get a quote back for that, I'll become the budget to ask for those funds, but that is where we are in the process of Juvenile Justice Center. High likelihood of federal involvement, federal funds for the planning and design and possibly the build. High possibility for state involvement as well. And I have talked to 11 of 18 surrounding counties that would like to be involved some way with the build of this project. So it's a huge, tremendous need. My hope is to get half or more paid for by other funding sources other than this body. And we'll go about getting the planning process started as soon as we can.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Mayor, I have a question.
Yep.
If we do get state or federal to help design the process, does that eliminate us from changing that? Because
Oh,
we're
no,
paying for it?
they'll help fund the design. They'll still be on our backs. to
But we
do
can
that
decide what
process.
to do with
Yes,
it
sir.
regardless of who's paying for it?
Absolutely. It'll be a grant just for design process, but we'll take that process from them.
Okay, thank you.
Any other committee reports? Any amendments, transfers to the general fund, school department, capital projects, highway department, debt service, juvenile court services, budgets for the fiscal year 24-25? Commissioner Alexander.
Mr. Chairman, this being toward the end of the year, we have a lot of closeouts, so we're going to have 27 county amendments, 22 school system amendments. Starting off with the county side, coming out of fund balance, internal audit, $375. This funds to cover the fiscal year 24 educational incentive payment.
This committee recommendation, no second required. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed?
Next, juvenile court clerk, $77.85. New computers to replace state-owned equipment and correcting salary line items, $57.85 of this balance comes from fund balance.
This committee recommendation, no second required. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I'd like to take the next four in finance under one reading, please.
Do I have a second? Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Commissioner Alexander.
Thank you, Commissioner. Finance, $31,550. Budgeting funds for accrued payroll, $17,790. This will be from fund balance. $98,000 capital. This is additional funding for the demolition of the old Beach Bluff School property. $3,000 contribution to the Tennessee Firemen's Association Annual Conference. And $30,000 contribution to Big Black Creek Association for Denmark Presbyterian Church.
This committee recommendation, any discussion on those? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed?
Moving next to the grants.
Commissioner Niehoff.
Same thing with the sheriff, the next four, taking one reading, please.
Have a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed?
Who seconded? Okay, all these are grants, new funds. Sheriff's Department, $32,828.35. This is reimbursement for overtime for extra duty. Next is Sheriff, $16,666.66. Reimbursement from City of Three Way for salaries. Next is $16,723 Drug Task Force for the fiscal year 25 Drug Task Force grant. Next, $99,961.11. This is the budgeting for the opioid settlement funds. Next is Health Department, $14,500, aligning the year-end estimates.
Wait a minute, we voted only to take the sheriffs, I think, isn't that right?
Yeah, that was a motion.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Committee recommendation, any discussion on the sheriffs? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Now, Commissioner Niehoff, you can take the rest of them if you want to.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do. Let's just do the rest of them because they're all grants or new funds. Same reading.
Have a second, Commissioner Brown? Second from Commissioner Brown. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed?
All right, next, the Health Department, $14,500. This is aligning the year-end estimates. Fire Department, $2,700, reimbursement for live fire training. Fire Department, $4,063.86, reimbursement for firefighters working at airport. $9,600, this is for capital sale of a vehicle, and Sheriff's Department, $14,901, also capital sale of vehicle.
These are committee recommendations. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Passes. Commissioner Wall.
The rest of these are transfers within the current budget. I make a motion, we take them all at once.
Do I have a second? Second. I have a second, Commissioner Martin. He got his hand up first, Commissioner Brown. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed?
Okay, transfers finance, $32,000, moving funds to bonus payments for a one-time payment to all finance department employees. Finance, $2,015,000, debt service correcting principal payment budgets. Health Department, $16,700 of aligning to year-end estimates. Health Department, $7,000, aligning to year-end estimates. Health Department, $20,000, moving funds to other supplies and materials. Health Department, $4,200, aligning to year-end estimates. Health Department, $3,500, aligning to year-end estimates. Health Department, $14,904.05, aligning to year-end estimates. EMA, $278,948.42, aligning budget to actual expenditures. Property Assessor, $37,043, moving funds from property assessor salaries to reappraisal salaries. Sheriff's Department, $18,703.58, moving funds and mental health grant overtime to various lines.
Committee recommendation, any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Passes.
Last one is in-house. This is for the library, $117,850 capital. It's moving funds, maintenance to repair services and contributions.
Committee recommendation, any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed?
Next, we have the 22 for the school system. These are all going to be no maintenance, no effect on maintenance of effort. These are all year-end stuff to close out.
Make a motion to take them all at once. Second.
Have a first and a second, take them all at once. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed?
School system, $941,900. This is regular instruction. The budget amendment needed to close in year-end closeout. No effect on an MOE. Next is $133,875. This is for special education program. Again, it's to close out year-end. No maintenance effort required. Next is $875,000 for debt services. No MOE, and this is to close out the year-end stuff. Next is $793,500. This is for vocational educational program, closing in year out, no effect on MOE. $54,350. This is for attendance. Budget amendment needed for year-end closeout, no effect on MOE. Next one's $18,690, the health services line. $1,092,851. This is for other student support. $429,200, regular instruction. $10,700, special education program. $230 for vocational education program. $235,500 for technology. $64,100, director of schools. $694,600, office of the principal. $48,000, Department of Human Capital. Operation of plant, $7,526.41. Again, maintenance of plant, $3,910. Community services, $22,690. State special education pre-K grant, $368,353.85. Capital outlay, $45,000. These two are line item transfers, $64,057.23. This is for the CCEIS. School nutrition, $61,250. Last, education capital projects, $140,434.
These are committee recommendations. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed?
Concludes our report.
Thank you. Possible approval of resolution expressing support for the license plate reader LPR equipment acquisition and program. Commissioner Wall, would you like to explain this?
Yeah, basically, this comes up every so often. It's for the license plate reader cameras, flock cameras that are throughout the county that help law enforcement solve crime, deter crime, things like that throughout the county. It's just a requirement of the state to allow us to be able to put those cameras on state right-of-ways on their poles that are on state right-of-ways.
Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion approved. Second.
I have a first and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion passes. Approval of resolution to adopt the revised Madison County Construction Guide.
Mr. Chairman, this does come to property committee recommendation.
Everybody had a chance to review it. Is there any discussion?
Yeah, I'd just like to get a little information about it, if we can.
Jeff Clark here.
Jeff, would you come up and?
Yes. Property committee recommendation.
Mm-hmm.
The construction guide is where we keep all of our documents for adopted codes to stay in compliance with state laws, fees, everything that kind of around the permitting industry. The revisions made in this guide are some lesser standards that the state adopted into law in January. So we're able to kind of reduce ours down, leave permits extended for 24 months instead of expiring in 6 months. There's some storm shelter requirements in commercial occupancies that were made optional instead of mandatory. We're doing away with the complicated, confusing, calculated fee system for residential structures and aligning that more with a flat fee standard that makes it easier for those who are wanting to build houses in Madison County to understand and budget for their projects.
Commissioner Dean.
So you feel like this is common sense changes that will help us in construction, help permits, and help move the process on much quicker than we had in the past?
Absolutely, 100%.
Commissioner Godwin.
I sit in on one of the meetings when you're going over this about the residential, the flat rate, and you compare another, I think, was it Park School you compared to your stats?
I did not. I think one of the other commissioners or something may have brought up.
That was me. No, I just, at the meeting.
You're right.
Yeah, I just compared it for costs for the citizens because we're actually really low compared to most counties. Clarksville was, I think, about a third more on their permits, and we're similar size region as Clarksville, except for Nashville, of course.
Remember, I noticed that Parksville, the population there is larger, and probably the income is higher. But you were saying that basically the rates really didn't go up too much. They're kind of up and down depending on the structure, by per square footage, right?
Correct. It's easy to look at the document and assume something different. Permits for residential have always been figured out in categories. Another 0 square feet to 1,000 square feet, 1,001 to 2,000, and so on. And those had a calculated fee that cost a different wide price range all throughout that category. So what we did was we sit down, we looked over the past couple of years at the average cost of a building permit in each of those categories, and then we based those fees in that category off of that so that we could limit the impact either way on the citizens or revenue that comes into the office.
And what did you say the average square footage of, I'm a realtor, of the home is, the average square footage is 400 to what?
The average in Madison County is
Madison
probably a
County.
1,500 to 1,800 square foot home.
Okay. And the cost probably would be, what would you say the cost would be for that average?
I don't remember off the top of my head, but it's about probably between 350 and 380. It's for a building permit.
Thank you.
Commissioner Brown.
That's what I was getting at. In the middle of all of that, what's the difference in the cost for residential permits based on the minimum category of footage?
You understand that, Jim?
I'm not sure.
The increase in building permits for residential, the variance of what we're proposing is how much from what it is now?
Less than $50, either way, increase or decrease. There was no way to set one fee to cover a category of 1,000 square feet, so we had to average that out to the most common fee in there. So realistically, probably over 90% of people will never see a fee increase at all. It's just kind of averaged out.
This is committee recommendation. Any more discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Passes.
Thank you.
Appointment of 2 members to the possible approval of bid for Beach Bluff demolition.
This is a property property committee recommendation, and y'all just approve this as part of the budget process, the money for this.
All right, thank you. No need to vote again. Appointment of 2 members to the Long Range Planning Committee by the Budget Committee with CLB approval, 1-year term, Carl Alexander and Gary Deaton incumbents. Move to reappoint. Do I have a second? Have a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Pass. Appointment of 1 member, Long Range Planning Committee by the Financial Management Committee. Actually, there's 2 on here, isn't there? I think there is 2. Kevin Hicks was incumbent. He got moved to budget, so he can no longer be a part of the Long Range Planning Committee from finance. And I need a motion from somebody to put Gary Tippett and Tony Niehoff on there.
Make a motion to put Gary Tippett and Tony Niehoff on the committee.
Do I have a second? First and second, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Thank you. Appointment of 9 members to the Environmental Advisory Appeals Board by the CLB, 1-year term. Bart Walls, Mike Butler, Jim Holman, Charles Bird, Robert Mullins, Jeff Wall, Jeff Clark, Chris Todd, Eric Turner, incumbents.
Motion reapprove.
Have a first and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Pass. Appointment of the County Building Commissioner by the County Mayor with CLB approval, 2-year term, Jeff Clark, incumbent. Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to reappoint Mr. Clark.
Make a motion.
Have a first and second to reappoint Mr. Clark. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Appointment of 1 member to the Municipal Solid Waste Planning Region Board by the County Mayor with CLB approval, 5-year term. Mr. Mayor.
This is tabled until June.
Table to June.
Make a motion to table.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Without objections, I'm going to approve the minutes from the previous meeting and election of notary publics. Take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Have a first and second. All in favor of adjourning? Aye. We are adjourned.